So remember that in order for DNA to replicate or to copy itself, it needs to add these nucleotides to complement the original template strand. Now, these nucleotides don't just come in by themselves, they don't just know exactly where to go, they need a little bit of help. And these nucleotides get help from an enzyme called DNA polymerase right here. This kind of like turquoise color here is representing DNA polymerase. Now, DNA polymerase is an enzyme. Enzymes are certain proteins that help different functions in your cell. So here's the enzyme here, and it's adding on the nucleotides onto the original strand, right? Now, it's important because this molecule does two main things. The first thing is it creates bonds between the nucleotides of the original DNA strand here and the new nucleotide, and it creates a hydrogen bond right here. Now, we also know that there are other ingredients in our DNA molecule besides these bases that are bonding here, and that's our sugar and our phosphate backbone that makes up the ribbon portion of our DNA molecule. So the DNA polymerase will make this hydrogen bond here, and then it will also connect the sugar and the phosphates to the previous nucleotide, and so that the nucleotides can be bonded both here and on the sugar phosphate backbone. Now, the second job of DNA polymerase, besides adding the nucleotides, is that it actually proofreads the DNA. So in order to make sure that there are no mistakes in the DNA, because that would be a big problem, this DNA polymerase has mechanisms that allows it to kind of check itself and make sure that it hasn't made any mistakes. So let's quickly remind ourselves what is going on in this photo. So take a second and think about what this blue strand represents in the DNA. So here is our blue strand. Does this represent our original strand or our new strand of DNA? Go ahead and take a second and think about that. And then the orange strand. What is this orange strand representing? Is that the new strand or the original strand? Take a second and think about that. All right, so you should have answered the blue strand is our original strand and the new strand is represented by orange.